Hello there, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have a healthy family meal prep. This is something that I like to do once a week to have meals ready in the fridge. It makes my week go so much easier. That way my family can grab and go as they need to. So we will have some breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. So some of these meals will be completely cooked and prepped, and all you have to do is reheat them. And other ones are going to be meal kits. And that's one of my favorite ways to do dinners. And so I'll walk you through that when we get there. So let's jump in. But first things first, let me tie my hair back. No one wants this in their food, trust me. We are going to make some breakfast sandwiches. So to start, we're going to crack 12 eggs. And today I'm going to keep the seasonings pretty simple. I think I'll just do some salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of garlic. I think that would be good. Give these a little mix. And giving just a splash of milk here, just to help lighten the texture just a little bit. I'm just going to line my pan here with some parchment paper so that it comes out easily. And all we have to do is pour this in and bake in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. Okay, while that's cooking, we will go ahead and get other things going at the same time. So I think the rice is going to take the longest, so I'll go ahead and get that started. Whenever I'm doing meal preps like this, I like to start with the items that take the longest to cook. So in this case, that's the eggs and then the rice. So while those are working, we're going to cook up our sausage. These are for our croissant breakfast sandwiches. While my sausage is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get some cheese shredded up for our burritos. I like to be efficient with my time whenever I meal prep, so whenever something is cooking, I try to see if there's something else that I can be doing in the meantime. Now that my water is boiling, I will go ahead and turn the heat down and add my rice. Get our peppers and onions chopped up. This will be for our beef and rice lunch bowl. In the same pan here, I'm not going to clean this out or anything. There's really no reason to. I'm going to add 2 pounds of ground beef, and this is for our burritos. So just get this fried up along with some taco seasoning. Oh, our eggs are done. Get these pulled out and let those cool down just a little bit. So our taco meat is finished, and I want to use this pan to cook the other pound of hamburger for the beef and rice lunch bowls. So I'm just taking this taco meat out. I'm going to use this same pan once again to cook up those peppers and onions that I already chopped and the ground beef. I don't mind that there's some taco flavoring in there. I actually think it'll pair well with the peppers. Okay, while that is working for us, we are going to go ahead and get our refried beans warmed up. We'll start with our croissant here. Go ahead and open that up. We will add our egg and our sausage and some cheese. Just like that. Easy. I love having these in the refrigerator or in the freezer for a quick breakfast for everybody. If you have tin foil, that works better, but I'm out, so I'm making do with what I have. This parchment paper will do just fine. And there we go. I'll go ahead and get the rest of these assembled. Next up, we have our lunch burritos. So to assemble these, we'll just take our tortilla. We will add some refried beans. Just a big spoonful there. And our taco meat. Some cheddar cheese. And then we will roll it up. So tuck in the sides first. Bring up the bottom. Perfect. There we go. So if I had tin foil, I would wrap this in a paper towel first and then cover that in the tin foil and pop these in the freezer. Since I don't, I believe I have some saran wrap. Hold on. Okay, I think the saran wrap will work great here. So obviously you don't want to microwave this, but you just pop it out, put it on a plate, heat it up, and there you go. Okay, now that we have our burritos done, we will move on to our beef and rice bowls. So we will grab a good spoonful of our beef, onions, and peppers, and then a scoop of our rice. I love having lunches like this prepped in the fridge. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of these prepped. All right. So next off, we have our overnight oats. So we'll start with a half a cup of oats, and we're just gonna make everything right in the container here. That way, less dishes. It's a lot easier. So we're going to do half a cup of old-fashioned oats. We will do 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, about a teaspoon of maple syrup to sweeten it up, and then we have our yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt here because it's high in protein. So we will do a 1/4 cup. Going to eyeball it. That's about a 1/4 cup right there. And then last we have our liquid. So I'm using almond milk here, and we're going to do 2/3 of a cup. Okay, we'll give this a good mix. And these containers I have another little compartment here, so I'm going to add some toppings, which I think will be really fun. So I'm keeping the overnight oats pretty plain. I just sweetened it with maple syrup. Oh, vanilla. Let me add some vanilla. That'll be really good. Okay, we'll just do a splash of vanilla. That'll make it extra special. And like I mentioned, these meals, these overnight oats and chia seed puddings are for me, for my breakfast. So I have a pretty strict diet, and my family can eat whatever they want. They don't have any food allergies, thank goodness. I, on the other hand, have several. So I eat a soy-free diet, egg-free, peanut-free, bean-free. What else? What am I missing? I think that's it. So it's free of a lot of things, but that's okay. It keeps me healthy. Okay, now I'm going to slice some strawberries. So I put some pecans in there, and I'll throw in some strawberries. And then I'll just pop on the lid, and that's it. Okay, now moving on to our chia seed pudding. So we'll start out with 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in each container. If you've never made chia seed pudding, it's super easy and it's pretty good. I really enjoy it. 1/2 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk here again. I'm just eyeballing it here, giving this a little mix here. We will add in another teaspoon of maple syrup. I love using maple syrup. It is loaded with minerals, healthy sugars for you. Just make sure you get the real stuff. None of that fake business here. Okay, I do want to add some vanilla as well, just to be a little bit fancy. And all you have to do is stir these up, and that's it. So we'll set these in the fridge. Same with the overnight oats. So you just make it the night before, put it in the fridge overnight, and then you have breakfast waiting for you in the morning. Now we are going to move on to our dinner meal prep. I decided to make meal kits this week, which I love to have in the fridge. So I'm not cooking anything right now. I will cook it the night of, but I will have everything contained in one area so I know exactly what I need. I will have everything chopped that I can chop, and I will make sauces if I need to sauce, and if I need to make sauces, I will make them, and I will marinate meat if I need to, so that can just be sitting in the fridge, and when the time comes, I just pull it out and assemble. So first off is a Mexican bowl. So let me go ahead and get all of the ingredients. Okay, for our Mexican bowl, we will have taco meat. So I will cook this the night of. I'm just going to put the hamburger in here. And then we have our black beans, guacamole, salsa, and I have more rice that I cooked earlier. So we will use that rice with this. So I'll have that on the side. I also have frozen corn, but I don't want it to thaw in the fridge. And so I'm going to keep the corn in the freezer, and I'll just pull it out the night of. And then sour cream and limes. Okay, and then I'm going to make an adobo creamy sauce, a creamy adobo sauce. Okay, so I gave this a taste, and it's pretty good. I think this is going to be delicious. So I'm going to put this in our jar here and add it to our kit so it's ready for whenever we eat this. Okay, there we go. So I'll add this to our kit here. Might need to take the sour cream out, we'll see. Okay, and that's it. Our taco bowl kit is ready for the fridge. Okay, next up we have our Italian bowl meal prep. So this is going to be kind of a deconstructed pasta salad. This one's going to be really good. So I'm going to put our pasta in here. I have some fresh mozzarella, some salami. This has some different kinds of salamis in here. Pepperoni works well, anything like that. Pepperoncinis, you can't have anything Italian in my mind without pepperoncinis or olives, so we'll add that. And let's see what else. What are we missing? Oh, our cherry tomatoes. So we have our cherry tomatoes here. Whenever I go to assemble this, I will cut these in half. So I'm gonna put these in a Ziploc bag. So there we go, there's our tomatoes. Okay, so then I just have an Italian dressing to make. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll grab a jar here. I'm just going to kind of throw a dressing together. This is going to be a balsamic vinaigrette. So we'll start with about half a cup or a little bit more. We want to make sure we have enough dressing. So yeah, I'm going to keep going. Okay, that looks good to me. Then we have our balsamic vinegar. So I like to do kind of about 2/3 oil to 1/3 vinegar. Once again, I'm just eyeballing it here. That looks good to me. Now for our seasonings, I'm thinking, Italian seasoning, maybe some garlic, of course. I think we're good there. And then salt and pepper. So a little bit of garlic and our Italian seasoning. We'll do like 2 teaspoons and salt and pepper. I think I will add a little bit of maple syrup just for some sweetness to help balance out the acidity of the balsamic vinegar. Okay, now just pop the lid on and give it a shake. And there you have it. There's our Italian bowl meal kit. So this is ready for the fridge. Next up, we have our Greek-inspired bowl. So once again, let's see, we'll get our feta cheese and hummus. So since I'm bean-free, I don't eat the hummus, but my family will enjoy that. We're doing chicken with that. So this is frozen. I'm just going to add that in here and then it can defrost in the fridge. We also have cherry tomatoes in this one. So adding those to a Ziploc bag so they stay fresh. Okay, a couple cucumbers. I got these cute little cucumbers here. So adding those, actually, I think I should put them in here. So I will slice these to have with the bowl. I'm also going to make a tzatziki sauce, which is a yogurt cucumber sauce. I think it'll be delicious. I think the family will have the hummus and then I will probably have the tzatziki sauce, which we are going to make next. Okay, so we're going to start with half a cup of yogurt. Half a cup of finely grated cucumber. So I've never actually made tzatziki sauce or had it, but it sounds delicious. I've always wanted to try it. Okay, so we're going to use the small side. See how that goes. I think that'll work. Okay. I think that's more than half a cup, but I'm just gonna go with it. I don't want to waste. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I will have all of these recipes linked below so that you can try them yourself. And some olive oil and some garlic. I'm just using powdered garlic since I'm out of cloves of garlic. And salt and pepper. And our last ingredient is dill. 1 tablespoon of dill. It also calls for mint, but I don't have any mint, and I'm not for sure if my family would like that anyways. So we're just going with dill. I'll give this a good stir. I think this sauce is going to be extra delicious, being able to sit in the fridge for a couple days. I think we will have this probably on Wednesday. Just add this to our jar. We will add this to our meal kit, and we are all set. Okay, now moving on to our last bowl. This is a Hawaiian inspired bowl. So I will do some grilled chicken. This is frozen. Once again, it'll defrost in the fridge. And then with it, we're going to do pineapple and a side of coconut rice. Guys, you need to try this recipe that I posted last week for the Mexican rice. Oh, not Mexican, for the coconut rice. It is one of the best things I've ever made. And then I've got some soy-free teriyaki sauce. I'm not gonna make my own sauce. We're just gonna use this. And then a couple bell peppers. And that's it, guys. This one is super easy. Okay, and there you have it, guys. This took me about an hour for a week's worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinners. I'm so thankful to have this done for me, for my family. This is going to make my week so much easier. I will have the recipes linked below, and I'll see you next time.